Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, please call roll.
Cash,
Yes.
Shack,
Here.
Cottle,
Here.
Baldwin,
Here.
Paisley,
Here.
Middleton.
Here.
Thank you.
We have the minutes of the previous meeting, our regular scheduled meeting, April 13th, 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or discussion? Please call roll.
Cash,
Yes.
Shack,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
Baldwin,
Yes.
Paisley,
Yes.
Middleton.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll move into our quarterly reports. The first item is the Morehead Round County Tourism Commission.
Hello.
Oh.
Aye.
I've got quite a bit to tell you about this week. I attended the Bicycle Pathways Commission. We're working on the Paul and I grant approvals, and I know that Edna's group is getting ready to apply for one of those.
Yep.
We are in discussion with Powell County Tourism. They have wayfinding signage, so we're working on that. We're working with the same company they're working with. So hopefully we will be able to progress that project. That's one of the line items in our budget from the current fiscal year, and we carry that on to next year. That's in line with the kiosks that I'll talk about here in a minute. There'll be 3 kiosks placed in downtown, and we'll have one at the conference center, and one will travel with me. And Greg is working with the company that we've purchased those from. There'll be one at Bats and Oats. There'll be one here at the police station, since it's kind of the first stop into town. And there'll be one at the visitor center, and one at, like I said, the conference center. And we're just working on the logistics of electric and all that. But those will be nice, and they're touchpad. They'll be on all the time. Jenny will be able to control those of what they say and what information is out there. We're adding a brochure rack for the first time in all these years to the Twin Knobs Gatehouse. We've never really been able to get on U.S. Forest Service property like that, but we're adding a full kiosk of information, just brochures, but we've never been able to do that, and that's what the highly trafficked campground. So we want to be out in front of those folks. So we'll be adding that. I think I install it tomorrow. The historical driving tour that I worked on with the middle school is complete. We just have to install signs. They've done all the videography. It's online already, but the signs are not up yet. But we've got 20 new sites. So those signs, I'm getting ready to learn how to use a post hole digger. If anybody wants to come here to help, you can.
It's not easy.
No, it's not. We are working on finalizing the Triplet Creek kayak launch. We have gotten 2 additional properties in addition to the one we have. We are waiting on the Corps of Engineers to approve. We were going to initially put one at Cimarron Road, but that property is part of the 377 project, and we don't want to there's no reason doing all the work and then them tear it up, so we're moving on with another project down the road. We have applied for an International Mountain Bike Association grant to do a pump track, and if you're not sure what a pump track is, it teaches kids how to mountain bike. So it's basically dirt mounds that you travel on, and the kids can learn it and learn how to be a mountain biker, and then get out in the woods and try it out. And it encourages racing, bringing those races to our community. So it's kind of starting at the ground level. We're also waiting on a T-Mobile grant. Walmart has offered their wetlands area that's down in the farmers area. When they built their building out on 32, they had to develop a wetland somewhere. So they've offered to make that a kayak access point. So it helps growing up with Scott Napier when I was little. So don't let him tell you any of the stories of holding me when I was a baby. But those are the projects we've got in the works right now. The Art Center is continuing to thrive. We've got a lot of new exhibits up there. The grant that we received for the loom project, where you're teaching people how to do old-fashioned looming, has taken off like gangbusters. Carolyn Franzini is teaching beginner sewing classes. My button sewing skills is about all I can do, so I may have to take more classes.
Those are hard.
But we've got some new exhibits going on up there. Larry Dixon is up there right now. You all know Larry Dixon with his cowboy hat and all, so those are up there. And other than that, I will tell you ahead of time, 20 years in the making, and we have to replace the chiller at the conference center. But God bless Bill Patrick for deciding that we needed a depreciative asset reserve account, so we have got the money saved up to be able to buy a new chiller, so. I just wanted you all to anticipate that, so, that is what that depreciative asset money was made for, is for us to save up for those kind of instances, and it's got one piece that's down out of 6, and we anticipate the other 5 to follow here soon, so we've got one on order right now, and we should get it in June, so. Everybody do no problems with the one we have now, dances. I think that's it.
Any questions for Joy? Okay, thank you, Joy.
Thanks, Joy.
Item 6, we have future growth, development, and projects for the city.
Had normal assortment of permits, couple new building permits. No big new permits, but some of the bigger stuff is now underway. Started their footers today, and they've been moving dirt around for a long time, but the footers are actually in the ground today. The First Street Dental Clinic, it's gonna be a nice building. It's well underway. I won't talk too much and steal Scott's thunder, but a lot of the new floors are in at the new fire department. The fiveplex on North Blair is just about complete, probably this week or next week. 2 new sixplex units have begun on West Main Street, basically across from the jail. And since he won't brag on himself, Greg's got first 2 parts of the new sidewalks at City Park done. And part 3 is well underway as well, so drive by and look at it. It's gonna be a very welcome addition to the park. He also, Greg and I applied for about $350,000 worth of money through the state's roads and sidewalk improvement program, and we got $159,000 of it. So we can start in July. That gives us more money to do some more road work. Let's see, the roads that we did get were the remainder of East Main Street and American Legion Way. And I think that's about it. Unless you have any questions.
I have a question.
Sure.
What's your assessment of the visuals on Second Street in Wilson? I drove by there tonight, that big sort of metal plastic looking edifice that is up there now, right slap on the street, really hit me right in the gut. I remember saying that the police station was ugly. I take it all back. Solid, it is dark, but it is gorgeous.
Well, it's not done. There'll be landscaping and vicinity trim and parking.
Yeah, I can see
But that said,
that,
we
yeah.
don't have architectural standards.
And we need them. We need, and that building right now, everybody, this, I am preaching. That building right now needs to be saying to this town, we need some architectural standards, because it does us no good if a lot of folks come in that way going to MSU and they look at that and go, oh, a great big trailer with windows. Not good. Where are those people going to park? About that.
15 or 16 parking spots, which is enough for their use.
Say they now. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go see it. And if you disagree with me, please let me know. Well, you know, there's room for that.
I tried. You guys cut that out of there.
I know.
Okay.
I'm done, I'm sorry.
Anybody else got any questions? questions, don't pick on me.
Okay, we have the Trace Creek Construction Fire Department update.
So the good news is we started standing structural steel today. Got columns along the apparatus bay side, the front, and started along the right-hand side. We have the apparatus bay slab poured as of last Monday. We have poured again today, the safe room slab and some ancillary rooms along the apparatus bay side, but not in the apparatus bay. So Wednesday, we will pour the remainder of the slab and we will continue to set the structural steel. Then shortly thereafter, you'll see the masonry on the apparatus bay side start to come up. So it's going good, going well. I'm glad to see it. Good weather helps a lot.
Yes, right.
Absolutely. With that, we have the approval of payment number 7.
I make a motion, we approve
Second.
payment number 7.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Okay, please call roll.
Cash.
Yes.
Shack.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Beasley.
Yes.
Littleton.
Yes.
Thank you. Under the general business agenda, unfinished business, the first item is the second reading of an ordinance amending the City of Morehead, Kentucky Code of Ordinances, Title III, Administration, Chapter 38, Non-Elected Offices by adding the positions of Public Works Director, Parks and Recreation Director, and City Planner.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
Just second reading, we talked about it last time, but it's to bring all the department heads into the same category.
Okay, please call roll.
Cash.
Yes.
Shack.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Beasley.
Yes.
Littleton.
Yes.
Item 2 is the second reading of an ordinance of the City of Morehead, Kentucky, amending Title 7, Traffic Code, Chapter 73, Traffic Schedules, Schedule 12, Crosswalks of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Morehead, Kentucky by adding a crosswalk on CB Cornett Drive.
So moved.
Second.
And this is just the second reading of adding the crosswalk at the park from the pedestrian bridge to the service road.
From the new sidewalk.
From the new sidewalk, you're right, I should say from the new sidewalk, yes. Okay, please call roll.
Cash.
Yes.
Shack.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Beasley.
Yes.
Littleton.
Yes.
Item 3 is the second reading of an ordinance of the City of Morehead promoting public health by requiring certification of recovery residences, providing housing for individuals in recovery from substance use.
Motion.
Second.
Questions or discussion on this item? Second reading again from last month, kind of coincides with the county's ordinance as well and the state model that they sent us.
And
Start.
yes.
It's a start.
All it is.
Because the industry got ahead of
The law.
the law, we're giving a 6-month grace period, but as time goes forward, just like a hairdresser has to be certified before they can open, we'll do the same thing with recovery. Or less, hopefully we will try to do that.
Well, it's a good comparison. Please call roll.
Cash.
Yes.
Shack.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Beasley.
Yes.
Littleton.
Yes.
Under new business, the first item is a resolution adopting and approving the execution of a municipal aid co-op program contract between the Incorporated City and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026, as provided in the KRS and accepting all streets referred to therein as being streets which are a part of the Incorporated City.
Motion.
Second.
This is our annual resolution we do to accept MRA money. Please call roll.
Cash.
Yes.
Shack.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Beasley.
Yes.
Littleton.
Yes.
Second item under new business is the first reading of the Morehead-Round County Tourism Commission annual budget for fiscal year 7/1/2026 through 6/30/27 by estimating revenue and resources and appropriating funds for the operation of tourism and convention services budget fiscal year 26/27.
Motion.
Second.
It's a mouthful. I think Joy has some comments for us.
Yes, I do have some comments. I'm human, so bear with me. I did something wrong, and I apologize for that. But it does not, I talked to Megan, it does not affect our bottom line, so it doesn't change the direction of this. I left off MCC total revenue on one of your pages. It doesn't affect that bottom line dollar, I just left off those figures because we did not adjust those. So I left those off, and that is a human error, and I completely apologize. The second one is my raise. I went back to the finance committee because I do not set the budget. The finance committee, I went back to them and asked for a lesser raise for myself. The reason why were giving me a raise is because for 4 years, I was not allowed to get a raise by the former administration, the mayor. And so they were trying to catch me up on my retirement. They were trying to get me back to that. So, but I've asked them to give me a 6% raise, and I did not update what I sent Helen. So it is not the raise.
Why would you not accept something that you are completely entitled to?
Well, there's some people at city council that do not agree that I need it either, so I don't want to create an issue. I'd rather approve our budget and move on with 6%. So that's my honest, myself speaking. But the commission, the finance committee went back and said they would lower it to 6%. And it does not affect our bottom line.
So, Joy, following up on Yvonne's question, could you supply us with the numbers to show what you missed out on for those 4 years?
Yes, I've supplied it with the commission. I can definitely supply it.
Okay,
It's
I think that would be helpful.
$1,000.
I'm sorry.
It's almost 18,000.
I think that would be helpful.
Okay.
I mean,
But
I
I told-
know you've dropped it to 6, but still I'd like to see that, yeah.
That's where I'm at, was the 6% where it would be. But that doesn't affect our bottom line. And like I said, I sent it to Helen. We always send it early, and I didn't even think to send her an updated copy with the change in my salary. And I apologize.
Raises are raises, laws are laws. Sometimes at the university, we would go 10 years without raises.
10 years.
And then, finally we would get them and people would say, see what raises they're going to get. I want to see this again. I want to hear this again.
I want to make a comment, and I hope I say it the right way, so correct me if I don't, Joy. We vote on tourism's budget, but tourism does not cost the city any money. They are funded restaurant alcohol tax.
Transient room tax, not alcohol.
Transient room tax, I apologize. And in fact, they turn around and make us money because they bring people in who spend money here. So approving or not approving a raise or anything in their budget is not a cost to the city budget. Just keep that in mind. I think it's just worth noting that.
So if you want to look at those numbers, well, you can move to postpone the vote on this until.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I don't want to be a party to having someone sacrifice something that they are due as an employee. I have a conscience.
But it will be a first and second reading at the June meeting.
We'd have to have a special meeting.
We could call a special meeting.
I just didn't want to put you all in a bind. And this is totally my bad. I apologize.
No, it's not.
Not your bad, but
Yvonne, will you make a motion then to postpone the vote?
To a
Yes.
date of June
So
8th,
moved.
which would be
Yeah.
Second.
June meeting.
yeah.
And you'll have exact figures on the next one.
Yeah, and maybe what the raise was initially, and then
Yeah.
what you brought to the floor today,
If it raises what you're seeing.
because we could technically vote on both. I mean, hopefully we wouldn't pass both, but we could.
And some background information that would,
Point of order, are we going to have a special meeting after the June 8th meeting then?
Call one.
Okay, or prior to?
And another question before we
Probably
vote.
be after June 8th, so we could do our first reading.
Is your budget as presented with the 10% or whatever, obviously it was 10, but you asked for 6, a reduction. Does this current budget have the increase or the decrease?
It has it has the initial one that the finance committee put forward, and it would be lower than this.
So the bottom line would go up, right? The bottom line increase?
No, she's saying she would, well, there were funds that you didn't put in, right?
Oh, okay,
So it'd be,
Well, it just,
No.
put the numbers in, it's in the figure. But what would happen is we would have extra money from what I didn't receive in the raise that we could put into marketing.
yes, would have surplus
So
or
just reallocating
somewhere
it.
else, yeah. So, Dr. Baldwin made a motion to postpone to June 8th.
I did.
And can you second it?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to vote on the motion to postpone?
Yep. Call roll, Helen.
Cash.
Yes.
Shack.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Beasley.
Yes.
Littleton.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. You're stuck with us again next month, Joy. Item 3 is a municipal order of the City of Morehead, Kentucky, approving the mayor to reappoint Nick Adams to the City of Morehead Ethics Board.
Motion.
Nick's term, remember we kind of staggered terms when we appointed the full board, and his term is up, and they just went through the training last week, 2 weeks ago. So we need to reappoint him, carry that out, because we started on it a little bit later. Any questions? Okay, please call roll.
Cash.
Yes.
Shack.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Beasley.
Yes.
Littleton.
Yes.
Item 4 is the first reading of an ordinance adopting the City of Morehead, Kentucky annual budget for fiscal year 7/1/2025 through 6/30/2026 by estimating revenues and resources and appropriating funds for the operation of city government, amendment number 3.
Motion.
Second.
I hope this is the last amendment this year, but Helen might try to sneak one in on us. At the end of the year, all the numbers kind of come together for us to even out there. But I think they described everything in the whereas and kind of highlighted it in that amendment. But do you all have any specific questions for us? Okay, please call roll.
Cash.
Yes.
Shack.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yes.
Beasley.
Yes.
Littleton.
Yes.
All right, item 5, the first reading of an ordinance adopting the City of Morehead, Kentucky annual budget for fiscal year 7/1/2026 through 6/30/2027 by estimating revenues and resources and appropriating funds for the operation of city government.
So moved.
Second.
It has been a Monday, and I have wore all of them and these two out specifically with, did we do this? Should we change this? Can you reprint this? And so I know you all got several emails today. This is the last draft that Helen had emailed out to you all that you're voting on. So it has the estimated fund balance as of June 30th, 2027. It's that $3,099. That's that bottom line number. But with total appropriations of $15,183,652. Questions, discussion? None?
Your Honor, maybe if we could get some clarification on the
Sure.
request and non-request and request again for the Veterans Museum. Where we're at on that.
So in the current budget, based on where we walked away from the budget workshop, is we put $20,000 in here. I understand this, the county has $30,000 in theirs. So that's up to you all. If you all make a change, just tell me where to cut the difference from. And I'm good either way. I want to make that very clear. I am open to anything. I just got to know what numbers to change. And they've got to know what
And we
numbers.
doubled from last year.
That's
We went from 5 to 10 to 20. Yeah,
in 2 years.
I think 10,500 maybe, so 500
Yeah.
last year.
Without making changes to the rest of the budget. We can't do that, though. We can't add to it without making a change.
You'd have to cut out about 20, you'd have to cut out 20,000 from somewhere else in the administrative budget if you're going to vote on these numbers.
I don't have a comment about the money part of it. But I do have some comments, and I know I probably spend all the time I was supposed to have tonight. on
There's no time limit.
about that building. But, some of you know I'm a historian. Some of you don't know I'm a historian, but I'm a historian. And history, heritage, preservation of history, all of that is important to a town of any size. It's particularly important to a town of this size. We have people in here who have worked their butts off to create and maintain and run museums that bring in people to this county, this city, and this region. What I think we need to begin to think about is how we switch from a system of volunteerism, amazing volunteerism, by the way. I mean, people right in here who have spent a lifetime doing things for this community and for its history and its heritage. The Veterans Museum is stellar. The Railroad Museum is stellar. What Steve Young has done, even with the Cora Wilson Stewart House, is amazing. We came very dangerously close to losing the Folk Art Center. We don't want any of that ever to happen. I don't want any of that ever to happen again. And I hope most of the people in this town don't want it to happen ever again. There's a major issue when you go from public support to a privately developed system of volunteerism. And we'd have to acknowledge that, because it's hard to go from having what you want to do in your museum done, and then getting civic funding, and then paying employees, and then being under, the supervision, at least, of the civic organizations that are going to oversee it. So there's a glitch there that is easily overcome, I believe. I think the city council needs to work with the county government, and we need to involve tourism and chamber, and we need to create a commission, or not a committee, but a commission, one that endures, that looks at how to integrate and then manage and then fund the various museum properties, entities, or organizations that deserve and should have some public support. If we do it piecemeal, we will never be fair about it. Good causes will be left out. But at the same time, if we don't move to do it, the people who have worked so hard and done so much will see their dreams just fritter away. So that's what I have to say, and I would like to see the council, working with Harry and others, find a way that we can all get involved in this, and not on a one-upsmanship. We're going to give 40, so you guys have to give 40, or whatever, however those things develop. We have to be systematic, we have to be fair. We have to look at the successes of the past and hold on to those and build on them to develop the future. Because if we want to continue what you have started with the downtown the way it looks and people coming here for a reason, we must support these organizations. And I can't say enough good about you. You guys know, I can't say enough good about the veterans. And I can't go on about the veterans because then I cry and you guys can't stand to see that.
I echo what she said. It's more than just humanities, this Veterans Museum and this centerpiece to our downtown. And there was times when we had events downtown at Batson Oaks, and 3-day events, 4-day events, and people would come in, and our museums weren't open. They weren't staffed. And I think that more than just the humanities aspect of it, it is a centerpiece of our downtown, and it is a draw. And yes, I think it is a thing to team up with tourism and the county and all the other entities, and not putting any of the other humanities aside. They're all very important. But I believe this one entity in the Arts Museum and everything there is a centerpiece of tourism, not just supporting humanities and the veterans. And I think that's something we really need to consider. If we're investing our dollars in downtown to enhance our downtown, that's a big centerpiece of what we can be looking at to support.
And I'm not just being selfish
Right.
about the Cora Wilson Stewart because I
Right.
wrote the book. And
Right.
that's a critical part of that building is, people will go there. And we have to continue all that.
Sure.
Thank you.
I would say one thing, when it comes to the Veterans Museum, without the veterans, we wouldn't have, very well might not have any of these other, they're the reason we're here. Our veterans are the ones that went to war, fought for us, died for us. Make sure that we are able to have these discussions. Without them, we wouldn't even be having them.
And I will say, we have some exhibits in there that are world renowned, really, not just nationally. And we want people to be able to say, hey, I went to Morehead and can't believe what I saw there,
Yeah, and the consortium that David has founded and with the other veterans museums around the state, this is big stuff, it really is.
I agree with Ms. Baldwin. I think we need to get a unified governmental approach to support these entities. And I could see tourism ought to be a big part of it because the Veterans Museum and these other museums bring people here to town and they spend money here. And I would think that is an outstanding ideal, is trying to coordinate with the county and tourism and the university and the other entities in town that should have an interest in helping to support our museums and organizations that are helping bring tourism to town.
And university should because of what David's done up there with that, with the military ROTC thing, that big.
Yeah.
I can't call the words right now, but you guys, what I mean, that.
I guess I do have a couple questions, and Mayor, you started with one, so why don't you go ahead and ask?
I wondered if tourism was in your all's budget at all currently. Okay. Have they been in the past, or they don't pay? Okay.
They do help us with our advertising.
Okay.
When we do some advertising, things of that nature.
Okay.
They do help us. And we appreciate that, by the way.
Absolutely.
But if I may.
Sure, absolutely.
First of all, I appreciate the consideration that all of you give, and I know you've got some hard decisions to make. I think you all have a copy of my letter that I sent to you. And it is important for you to understand beyond my letter, the things that the museum does. We don't only just have a museum here with artifacts that, some of our artifacts, for example, our cannon and stuff of this nature. No one else in America has a cannon like ours. This was a 1754 cannon, excuse me, that was used on a British ship against General Washington's troops. Okay, no one in America has a cannon like this. Okay, we have Japanese telephones. We have all of our American artifacts, as well as we have an MG-34 German machine gun. We tell the whole story, okay, age appropriately as we have tours. We also have this will be our third year, I believe, for the USO concert, right? So we put on that. We also, which brings a lot of people. We also have our reenactment at the same time as Poppy Mountain and those types of things. So that adds to it. We have a lot of people come through our reenactments, and those are all part of the museum. And then we have outside entities that come in to use our Freedom Park for ceremonies. For example, Post 22 of the American Legion in Mount Sterling comes over with their bike riders every year on 9/11 to do a ceremony at our wall. Okay? I think we are well known in the area, and we've come a long way from, we appreciate those who started the museum in 2001, but we've come a long way since then, and we will be the centerpiece of Morehead's 250 artifacts. And I would ask you to take those into consideration. We've done all that on our own money and our own time for 3 years now. And so we would appreciate your assistance.
One other question. So we have 20,000 in there right now. So are you asking to bring that to 30,000 or bring that to 40,000 and it be 30?
Y'all gave us 10,500 last year. 500 was the parade, 10,000 for the operation of the museum. This $60,000, which would be 30 from the county and 30 from the city, is for staffing, okay, as we've outlined in the documents that we've given you previously. So that's what we need is we need help with staffing. I want nothing personally. I will not take a dime from the museum. I will give my money, but I won't take any. Okay, I will give my time, but I won't take any paid for it. Okay, but we do need to have some hired staff. I'm not as young as I used to be, and so I can only put in so many hours. And after about 50 or 60 hours a week, I get a little tired.
Could you,
I can say thank you.
could you tell us a little bit more about the hired staff? Is it one person? Is it multiple people? Full-time, part-time, benefits, that sort of thing?
Yes. We would like to have one person. I had previously submitted the information there. We had one person. We would like to have one person for a permanent part-time, which would, let me get to that page here. Bear with me just one moment.
That's all right.
It's always a page you're not looking at, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, so the one person, here we go, right here. So we would like to have a director of the museum, which would be responsible for maintaining the museum and for actually controlling the museum itself, which is only a small part of the Marion County Veterans Foundation. And that would be $45,000. We have student work study programs of $15,000. And then our software support for $5,000. That's how we get to the $60,000. And so the county currently gives us about $10,500 per year in money that they pay for us. They pay for our insurance, they pay our water bills, they pay our phone bills, they pay our internet bills, and all those things, so the heating and cooling bills. So they pay all this, and this comes to about $10,500 a year. That's why we went last year, why we had that number, okay? The $10,500 we would like to have from you again this year on that part is so that we can actually buy our own toilet paper, that we don't have to bring it from home, okay? And for us to be able to paper towels and general cleaning supplies and our other general supplies that we need. So we, and also for when we obtain artifacts. Mr. Dave Klinger is one of our strongest members here, and David, because he has dealt with military things all of his life, even though he's not a veteran, he's probably the most veteran-friendly guy I've ever met. And he finds things for us, things that might be worth $2,000, but that he can get them for $200, okay? We need funds for those things, okay? Instead of taking them out of our own pockets. And so I hope that answered your question.
Yes, thank you. And I have another question if nobody else does.
Sure.
Can I say something, though? I want to add to what Bill said just a little bit. I mentioned the money from the county at $10,000 for general operations, but they've offered another 30 if the city will match that 30.
I believe that's what Councilmember Baldwin was talking about, is this, if you do this and if you do that, we want to work with the county and tourism and have a plan that we're all working together and not just kind of one-upping each other, as she said. So I respect that the county has offered that 30,000, and we as a city, until we are working as a group with them, we need to make our own decision and what we can do in terms of our budget.
You know, but it was, it was an offer as a match.
Yeah,
So that's, I just wanted to make that point, that's all.
yeah, thank you. So my question is, for the last 3 years, your budget is solely out of the $10,000 that comes from the county paying all the bills and the $5,000 to $10,000 that we have provided. And have you sought out any grant funds or anything of that sort?
Yeah, we received a grant last year from the Historical Society in around $10,000, but it had to be spent on very specific items for the preservation of our artifacts, which are cabinetry and different control systems and certain kinds of acid-free paper and things of this nature. We had to spend it on those items. It wasn't something we could use at our discretion. Okay.
Yeah.
And but as far as the remember, only this last year was the only year that the city has provided us any money for the museum. Okay. Other than in years past, many years past, the city used to provide us with a few $100s for the parade. Okay. But the city has never supported us financially until last year, which we greatly appreciate.
I thought we had 5,000 in the previous year.
So too.
Well, if we did, we didn't get it, okay?
And so that is worth noting.
Yeah,
There's a lot of groups, we can't release funds until the request comes into us, and sometimes we never get those requests, and so that could have been the case.
Yeah.
But I do want to let you know, I appreciate everything that you guys do here, the hard decisions that you have to make to be fiscally responsible, and I do appreciate that. But, as a veteran myself, as a Vietnam veteran, I spend my life working for veterans. Okay?
My husband is also a veteran.
Okay, and because as was said here previously, if it wasn't for the veterans, we wouldn't have a free country to live here. And it's so important that we continue our education in the schools to help these young children understand where the freedoms come from. Okay, and we've got 3 men from our recent wars in particular that we lost. As you know, we have their monument in the museum and also at the wall. But we have over 3,500 names alone on the wall, and that's just a fraction of the veterans that have served in this country, from this area. Even when we were in Virginia, we had our veterans, our citizens were standing up and supporting America, supporting the red, white, and blue. And
We appreciate all that you are doing, and we do think it's, as Councilman Littleton.
Place, by the way, you can see my grandfather's combat boots.
Another question, since these funds that you're requesting are going to be partially funding a position, can you share with us what that job description is for that position?
yes, I can.
Good.
I
mean, you don't have to do it right now, but if you could give us in writing.
I had previously submitted that, but I'll submit it again.
I'm sorry that I didn't see it.
That's all right.
I have a copy of that. Helen will send it to you.
Okay, thanks.
Your Honor, if we're considering upping this, which we may or may not be, and we're already looking at maybe having a special session, would this be something that we'd want to?
Not unless it changes the bottom line.
Okay.
Which it can't.
Right.
And
So we have to look and
have
see.
that much left in the bottom line.
We want to look and see what we're want to change if we're going to change anything.
Yeah, I would like to hear from you all where you would want to pull it from.
Right. That was my point. I don't know that.
And I wouldn't want to make that decision sitting here tonight.
Right.
But as far as it, you can still vote on the first reading because it's not changing the bottom line. Unless you all change something else in here later.
Yeah, so the actual budget that you guys vote on is just page 1. So if we can move the funds within the worksheets to keep these numbers on the page the same,
That's what I figured.
it's the same budget you'll vote on for second reading.
Then have another special meeting.
Right. But yes, if we change one of the numbers on the main page, then we could put it back on for first reading for June and do it with the special session for tourism's budget. So we can vote on the budget as presented. But what would need to happen next is you all not collectively together, unless we're in an open meeting, would need to come up with some suggestions on where to move money around.
But if we vote on this budget, we can still, between now and the June meeting, make an adjustment if we.
Yes, as long as this first page is not adjusted, we're good. Even if it is, and we have time for a special meeting, we'll still be able to pass a budget before June 30th.
Okay. Because I think that's the best thing we can do here. Can't finalize anything. I don't think tonight.
Well, you're,
As far as the.
You're-
Front page, we can.
right, and that's what you all have a say on, are those numbers right there.
Right.
Are there other budget questions? Helen, call roll.
Cash. Shack.
Yes.
Cottle.
Yes.
Baldwin.
Yeah.
Beasley.
Yes.
Littleton.
Yes.
Holy cow. That's all I know what to say. Might be the fastest budget that we have passed. First reading, I would say. And I do have a couple of suggestions that I can send to you all to adjust and that you could consider. So we'll see, whatever you guys want to do. Okay. Do we have anyone here for public comment? Okay. Does council have any other comments?
Came prepared to make a comment tonight, and I will anyway. Reading some of the correspondence we got today for emails, and I'd just like to point out Chief for excellent documentation and excellent work on the event, the festival we had. I really appreciate the information, spot on. Public Works, everybody did a great job, so.
Yes.
I'm gonna point that out. Told you I was gonna call you out.
I would echo that. I made some calls and
Yep.
yes, absolutely, you guys,
Did it good.
By the book.
yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Greg, your team too. And anybody else who helped.
And all Jeff's guys were down there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to leave anybody out.
Other comments from council? Okay.
Motion adjourned.
No, hold on. I put me last this time, Lincoln, because you got me last month with that.
We can do this.
Real quick. You had the department updates in your packet. And I know it was a very lengthy packet, so thank you all for taking time to go through that. Ronnie and I have been on a number of calls with a local developer who is interested in pursuing industrial revenue bonds with the city. It is not a TIF, so I'll start with that. So don't think TIF. But it is a bond that would not affect the capacity or debt against the city. It is a bond that incentivizes developers by waiving or adjusting, am I using the right word? Property taxes for X amount of time for the developer's sake.
And it's kind of flexible. So it's one of the only legal ways that a government could change the amount of property taxes that a development pays. For instance, it could be a one-time credit, it could be over a 30-year period, et cetera. So a lot of people think we can just bring taxes to get a project to come to town. Can't do that, that's not legal. This is developed, industrial revenue bonds are developed with that intent. It gives council a tool to kind of, for recruitment, really, of a desired industry or development.
So is this a single development or is it a space or?
This is,
I think we can talk about it.
the development is at the Wells property.
Oh,
Oak and Prime.
Oak and Prime.
Right, and their intent is to put 66 apartments there. It's, how did he put it? It's market rate. So it's not low income, it's more income based. So the price of the apartments could vary depending on the income of the tenants. And they have to, have jobs and cars and things like that.
So how can it be market rate and income based? Both?
If I make $50,000 and you make $100,000, your rent is gonna be more than my rent for the same space.
So it's not market rate?
They call it market rate.
That's why I looked
Yeah.
at it, or I'm like,
You could have a cap,
hold it,
Okay.
market rate, and based on your income, what percentage of that?
Almost a tiered market rate, and
Oh,
based
okay,
market
all right, okay.
So like,
And where is it?
Oak and Prime,
Oak and Prom is
over the hill.
the development in the curve before you get to Walmart.
Only if they have really nice lighting.
landscape. Is it like government subsidized housing to some effect?
It is,
Public-private.
I think they're getting some funding from Kentucky Housing, but I haven't seen the prospectus, so
But it's not just like a private
not-
housing development, like,
it's not
no, it's
Section
gonna be
8
a
housing.
private company. But shouldn't speak on how the mechanics of it are, but, I gotta assume if they want $1,100 a month for an apartment and they're gonna receive less because your income is less, they're gonna get it made up somehow.
Yeah, I don't know
So
how that
that's
works.
through
Yeah.
Kentucky Housing, or it is definitely not Section 8 housing. So,
At least it's a
I
park.
think a similar one is, if you're familiar with, across the street when you're coming out of Costco, those apartments over there, I think it's modeled after those.
Really? Wow.
Those are same type.
I mean, that's I've seen have you seen the development plans?
Unless they've changed them,
I mean, they are nice looking apartments, it's hardy board siding instead of vinyl siding, it's cultured stone, rock.
they're gonna really look nice, I
Yeah,
think.
they're really nice looking apartments, so. Like that, like the ones in front of Costco.
Same developer, I believe, if I'm not sure, if I'm mistaken.
I don't know.
Is that the entire parcel?
It's the front part right now, which would be it's a couple acres, like 5 acres of it. And then they wanted, things change, I guess, but they want to be able to do more apartments and maybe even some homes, some houses on the backside of it.
When they originally designed that space, it was going to be mixed use and have some retail. Are they still thinking of that?
So that never came to planning commission when the developer, when the owner wanted it annexed, it was zoned for that. The original intent was some retail space up front, housing in the back, but that never ever came to planning commission for that approval. This is the only thing that's ever come to planning commission. So yeah, it is different than what the owners presented to planning commission when they became annexed. When you become annexed, we have to decide what zone we want to make it. So yes and no.
Are they going to get a second ingress and egress, that space?
They are working on one to go to, what is that road, White House Hill?
White House Hill.
Yeah, that is, they're working on putting a bridge over to that road.
Getting permission to do that?
Yeah, they've
They're
already
in the-
got their flood permission from the Division of Water, and I think they've approved I think that's all they really needed.
Yeah, that's kind of a game changer for that space.
It is, because it's gonna be a no left turn coming out. It's gonna be a left or right turn going in, but no left turn coming out. And so that is another way to,
Yeah,
you know,
good.
I mean, we're not asking for, if we're starting a discussion and kind of gather opinion to know whether or not we want to continue talking to the developer, if the developer's willing to come and talk to council, you know, kind of lay it all out for you.
We need more housing.
I'm excited.
Definitely need more
We need more
housing.
housing. I think, if y'all know me, I always kind of look at the other side too. It kind of puts us into incentivizing housing, like you just said. So if that's what we think we need to do, that's a tool that we could use. But we can't do it everywhere, or we don't have the revenue to, you know, we don't have the revenue to do it every time somebody wants to put something in.
Right. So run us through how that bond works again. Is it run through KHC at all, KLC at
I
all?
think KHC more helps in the funding and or financing side of it,
Okay,
of the construction.
the bond itself.
The bond itself, the developer would get, and we would kind of sign off on it, for lack of a better, you know.
And they get a pretty good interest rate on that too.
You know, he didn't say anything about it being able to affect his interest rate on the bond. It makes sense that they would use our good credit rating, or, but, you know, the only purpose of it is to try to get some discounts or forgiveness of
Property tax.
Property tax. The scenario they put to us is like, we would like to maybe start the discussion at having a 30-year forgiveness of property tax. So 30 years from now, somebody would say, thank you all.
Okay, we'll continue that conversation.
Chew on that.
I'll renew my motion to adjourn.
Okay. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it again.
All in favor?
You're too fast. I had another thing, my brain was still